Hi guys! So today we're going to move on to Saxon Phonics Lesson 12. So we have lots of new things in this lesson, so I'm super excited. So let's try saying our alphabet while crossing our bodies. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to go across and then across, but we're just going to be saying it. Okay, so I want to see you cross that body because when we cross our body, it gets our blood flowing and it helps our brain work. Are you ready? So here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Very good. And as we do the alphabet, as you can tell, remember we started at the left because we start reading on the left and we move to the right all the way over. Another thing I wanted to mention, remember, what is the initial letter in the alphabet? We worked on that yesterday. That's right. We start at A at the initial letter and we work all the way to Z, which is that ending letter. All right, I'm going to move this down just a little bit so that you can see everything on the screen. All right, now that we got our blood moving a little bit, let's go ahead and move on. All right, I want you to listen to the words that I say and see if you can tell me their medial or middle sound. So get ready to listen very carefully. All right, remember this is very tricky. Man, can, fan. So an, k, an. That's right, they all have that that middle A as their vowel. Listen to the next ones. Mop, hot, top. Okay, let's slow them down a little bit to stretch them out. Op, ot, op. That's right, they have the ah, that short O sound. Ready for your next one? Make, cake, lake. All right, let's stretch them out. Ache, ache, eight. That's right, they have the long A sound, that A in the middle. Very good. One last one. Fun, mud, rug. Fun, mud, and rug. Let's stretch them out a little bit. Ready? Un, mud, un. That's right, they have that short U sound in the middle. Awesome job. All right, so these are the letter cards that we've collected so far. So when I point at the picture, I want you to say the name of it, okay? Are you ready? So I'll say it, then I'll point at you to say it. Ready? So we have S, O, T, N, I, L, Z, P, A. Awesome job. All right, and these are the letter sound cards that we've collected. So remember, when I point at these cards, I want you to say the sound they would make. Are you ready? So I have I, A, O, I, A, A, T, N, L, Z, S. And remember, this one's tricky. We just started this one. It says S, but it's got that line in it, so that makes the Z, Z sound. Very good. All right, here we go. All right, this is something very different than what we've done before in Saxon. So what I want you to look at is look at these pictures and what do you notice or wonder about the pictures and the words that are below them? So I've got a picture of one block here, and it says block. Then I've got a picture of 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks, and it says blocks. What do you notice that's different? I'll give you a second to think about it. Let's see if you picked up on it. Great work. We hear and see the s at the end of the word blocks because there's more than one. When we have two, we don't say two blocks. We say two blocks. That S tells us there's more than one things. That S at the end is the ending is called a suffix, and we're going to code our suffix with a box. So we're going to put that box around the S. And what happens is that S we keep in a box as the suffix. The rest of the word is what we call the root word. So block is our root word. It's what started it. Suffix is the ending that adds the extra meaning to it, which tells us there's more than one. So let's see if we can practice that a little bit. So suffix S can make a voiced and an unvoiced sound, just like the letter S. So remember when we looked at S, we said it can make a S sound that it sounds like an S, but it also can make a Z sound like it sounds like a Z. So let's see if we can try that real quick. What just happened? No, 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 no. So let's see if we can try that real quick, okay? Listen to the words I say and see if it's going to be a voiced or an unvoiced sound. So if I say the word snaps, the ending s makes what kind of sound? S. It makes the S. So if it says S, remember it's unvoiced because the S does not make our vocal cords vibrate as much. But listen to the next word, pills. Pills. The S in that word makes the Z sound, so it makes a voiced. So it can have both sounds just like our letter S. So let's see if we can code some of these words. So remember, we're going to add a box around our suffix. So right here, I put a box around the S because we know that tells us there's more than one. Then I'm going to go back and we're going to look at this word. Our vowel is right here. Our vowel is the letter I. Uh-oh, but it's got a consonant behind it, so we know that it's going to be short, so we need to add a breathe. Okay, so now that we know it's a short I, let's try to sound that word out. Pens. Pens. Very good. Now let's look at our vowel in this word. We find it, it's the O, but it's got that consonant behind it. So we know it's going to be short and we need to add a breathe. So pots. Pots. Very good. And our last one, we see our consonant behind our vowel again, so we know it's going to be short. So add that breathe, and we have to sound it out. Ills. Pills. Very good. So let's say the words one more time, and what you're going to do is you're going to tell me if you think it's voiced or unvoiced. So pens. Pens. That's right. Pens. You can feel it vibrating, so it's a voiced sound. Pots. Pots. No vibration, so that means that it's unvoiced. Pills. Pills. Oh, I feel it vibrating, so that's my voice sound. Good job. All right. So the suffix S in pens and pills is voiced because it made that Z sound. It made us vibrate. The suffix S in pots is unvoiced. So what I did here is if you'll look on the, remember on the voiced that makes that Z sound, we add that line through it, that voice line. Whoops, we got ahead of ourselves. So you can see it has it at the end of pens and the end of pills, but not pots. Do you notice anything else about the words that we've added that we haven't added before? That's right, there's a funny line over here. We're going to figure out what that funny line is for. So that funny line is because when we sound out the word pills, we hear p-ills. It has two L's, but we only hear one. We don't sound it out and say p-i-l-l-ls, do we? We make one sound instead. That's called a double consonant blend because they blend together. You can't hear them. So we're going to go through the steps of coding this word and see if we can figure it out. This is the word ends. So right off the bat, if we look, we can see that that S is the first thing we do is we put that S in a box because it's our suffix. So we box the S. Then I've got a double consonant. So I know since they're the same letter and they're right there together, we're not going to hear both of them. We're not going to pronounce it. So I put my slash over the N because that's telling me I'm not reading that sound. And so then I look and I have to find the last thing, I have to find my vowel. And my vowel is the I. Look behind it. It's a consonant, so it's closed, so it's a short sound. So then I have to add my breathe. So now we're going to try to read that word. Are you ready? So short I says I. Then we have N, so I, n. Oh, double consonant. Don't sound that one out. And then so ends. Ends. Very good. Awesome job. All right, you're going to listen to me say some words that I say and try to tell me if the sound that's either the same at the beginning, middle, or end, and what do you hear? You ready? So, sip, sit, sal. Sip, sit, sal. That's right. You hear the S sound. That's exactly right. So this is going to be a little bit different today. We are going to be reading a book in your small groups. You'll either be doing it in your small groups today, or if you have small groups tomorrow, you'll do it tomorrow. But we're going to look at some things that you're going to need to know before then, okay? So we're going to look at this sentence. This sentence starts with a capital and ends with a period, and it makes sense by itself. So I know it is a complete sentence. Those are the things I have to look for. So we're going to try to read it real quick. A in. Pen is in it. A pen is in it. It makes sense by itself. So when you're reading, you're going to see things like a period, and a period tells us something. It tells us we can stop and take a breath when we're reading because it's a natural place to stop. So you're going to be looking for those full sentences and places where I can stop. This is actually the cover of the book that we're going to read, okay? And its title says, Pop It, Toss It. We're going to move this over so you can see everything real quick. Pop It, Toss It. Now, we know that the title is the name of the book. And just like when we write our name, we have to have a capital letter. The title has capital letters too. Look. Capital P, capital I, capital T, capital I. Because it's the title, it's important and it needs those capital letters, just like the first letter in our first and last name needs a capital letter. What else do we notice? Oh, there's this little mark. We talked about this little mark yesterday a little bit. It is called a comma. Can you say comma? Comma. A comma separates ideas in a sentence. And it gives us a little place where we can pause when we read. So when we read that sentence, we don't say pop it, toss it. We say pop it, pause, toss it. It's not a big pause, but it just gives us a little bit of pause and tells us where we can stop because it completes that thought. Okay? All right. So you guys have done an amazing job. And I'm so excited to get to hear you read that book in your small group. But right now we're going to hop over and we're going to practice the skill we learned today on our activity sheet. All right? Or I'll see you in just a second. All right, guys, so we've opened up our activity sheet, and this activity sheet is going to be a lot different than the ones that we've seen before because remember, we're just focusing on that suffix S. So what we're going to do is I want you to look at the first, and what we're going to do is I'm going to say a sound, you're going to repeat it, and then you're going to write it down, okay? So the first sound that we have is O. You say it, and then what letter would it be? That's right. It is it is our long O sound, so we need to put that breathe on there. All right, our next letter or sound that we're going to work on is ul. So I say it, you say it. Ready? Ul. L. Perfect. All right, next one. I. Your turn. That's right, short I. Z. Good job. So you said Z, but let's think about that for a second. Yesterday we learned that there's another letter that makes that Z sound. So the other letter that we have, remember, is S. So I'm going to put that comma to divide my letters, and then I'm going to put my S. All right, on number 5, A. Very good. All right, but it's short, so I'm going to mark that. All right, P. Awesome job. Let's move it down a little bit. All right, Ah. Oh, you did incredible. How about S? S. I. That's right, it's just I. A. And A, but we make sure we put that long sound above it. Nice job. All right, when we come down to the bottom, we're going to try to code these words. And we learned something new this week about coding. So the first thing I'm going to look for, remember, is my suffix. So I'm going to box my suffix, which is my S. Now I need to look in the rest of the word. Do I have any double consonants that are together, like the LL or NN? Nope. So let's go and find my vowel. Well, here's my vowel I. It's got a consonant behind it, so that means we're going to make that vowel short because it's closed. Very good. So now let's try to sound that word out. T, it, p, s, tips. Perfect. All right, we're going to move on to number 12. All right, first we need to find the ending, so we're going to box the S. Very good. All right, and then we're going to look. We have a vowel right here. All right, so it has the consonant behind it, so we know it's going to be short, but there's something else in that word that we learned just today. We've got LL. And remember, when we sound it out, we're not going to say ul. Those two L's are going to blend together, so I'm going to put a slash through that one L. All right, so here we go. Are you ready? We say uls, pills. Perfect. All right, on number 13, again, we're going to look. First thing we see is that S is a suffix, so I'm going to box it. Then we got to find my vowel. There's my vowel. It's an A. It's got a consonant right behind it, so that means that I am going to make that vowel short. Very good. So let's sound it out now. P, A, Ns, pans. Perfect. All right, we're going to come up to the top now, and we're going to try sounding out some words. So we're going to sound out the whole word, but we know that we need to break it apart. So the first word that we're going to try to sound out is taps. So what do we hear first? T, t. That's right, T. Now what? T, A. A. Perfect. T, ap. That's right, P, and then S, taps. That's right, it has that S because when we say taps, it means more than one tap. All right, our next word is sat. Sat, let's break it apart. S, S, very good. S, A. A, good job. T, t, T. All right, let's try another one. Nips. Nips. So, I. Ps, p, p, p. And then ips. You guys did awesome. All right, we're going to go ahead and flip to the back, which is our homework. Now, we are going to, you're going to try to code these words. Remember, you're just going to try to code them by yourself. It's okay. It's just practice. And you can go back to the page before if you need to and look how we coded the first ones. And remember, the answers are going to be on pages 3 and 4 if you need help. And then you're going to come down at the bottom and you're going to try to sound out the word pots and tops. We know that it's going to have that S at the end because there's more than one of them. You can see 2 pots and 2 tops. All right, you guys did an awesome job, and I will see you tomorrow for lesson 13.